Got it. Announcement of action taken in closed session.
Announcement, action in closed section on item A. Student. In consideration of student discipline or other student matters, case number EH 2022-3 is being allowed to return to school and must follow written plan. Item B, public employee, employment, transfer, resignation, disciplinary, and release. We have the following. We have Karuk, language instructor classified, James Ferreira, Orleans, new hire, ASB advisor stipend, Rebecca Page, Kupa L, new hire, instructional assistant, severely handicapped, classified, Casey Wojak, Orleans, new hire, instructional assistant, special needs, classified, Mary Beth Herwig, Kupa High transfer, Indian education director, classified management, Erica Tracy, district-wide new hire, volleyball coach stipend, Rena Gibbons, Orleans new hire, sophomore class advisor stipend, Herman Matilton High School new hire, junior varsity volleyball coach stipend, McKinnon Macasudo, Trinity Valley, cross-country coach stipend, Megan Vieira, Orleans. And this was the voting on the first one in consideration of student was the following people that were Wild, O'Gorman, Myers, Colgrove, Waddy, and Laughlin George. And this one on item B was the following people, Wild, O'Gorman, Myers, Colgrove, Waddy, Laughlin, and George.
Number 5, public comment. In order to provide public comment, please complete speaker's form prior to the board resuming open session. A, public comment on Indian policies and procedures and non-agenda items. Members of the public may address the board on Indian policies and procedures and non-agenda items. Time limits, generally 3 minutes per speaker, 20 minutes per subject will be imposed by the board president. B, public comment on agenda items. Public comment on agenda items will be allowed before each agenda item. So I have public comment, Steve, on 5A and 5B.
Yeah, the 5B was to, I think, follow those, I think it was 8A and 10A.
I'm sorry.
I put down 5A and 5B, but I think on B it follows the other agenda items. So I would speak to yes and no's there. I just have a question about the interim superintendent employment agreement. On the very back of it, it's in the board approval part. The effectiveness of the agreement shall be contingent upon approval by district board in open session of a regular meeting as required by law. I think that happened in closed session.
No, it was an open session. You weren't here that night.
I was here that night.
It didn't happen in open session. We discussed it in closed session. It happened in open session.
Thank you. Just want to be clear on that. That happened.
Seeing no other forms. Number 6, superintendent's report.
I have it written. So they can read it. Next.
Okay. Assistant superintendent's report.
I got it written. No.
It's a 45-day update. So the governor puts out their budget, and we always have a May revise and then the actual final budget. We get the revision, and we have to provide a 45-day update to the public. So it's just for information, and there's information in the packet what the difference is. We had a difference with an increase in revenue in LCFF of 2.6 million. And we also had an increase in local revenue of 164,999. That's for a school bus. And the 2.6 is right now, there is nothing that's, I don't have anything budgeted per se. We are deficit spending at this time, but this is just shows you the amount we receive, what our budget is. And so that I don't have the complete allocations for our ending balances and things of that nature. It's just to update everyone. It is, it has a 6.56 statutory COLA. The EPA rates, which is our resource 1400, that was on our pre-populated ADA rate. We got to use that again pre-COVID. So that's where these numbers came into play. So we're able to use pre-COVID in regards to the funding level that we got. There was added COLA to the transportation add-ons. You'll see a graph of that, which is 627,806. So that provides that much into the transportation department. The additional transitional kindergarten add-on, we got getting. So that shows 0. Not saying that we can't factor in something in regards to the increase that we have. That's pretty much sums it up. Again, it was based on our 1920 ADA pre-COVID. So because the budget, the governor had a larger amount to budget to school sites, we definitely did see an increase. And again, when we come back in the first interim, we can take a look at how that affects our deficit spending. So does it balance us out? Is it that will be in December? So you'll have that in December. But for now,
So when will we have to start using our current or our previous year ADA number
this year.
this year?
This year, we're doing, yeah.
We need to get our ADA.
Our attendance is important.
Okay.
We've been fortunate enough to have that pre-COVID. And again, it may come out in January that they're still seeing COVID levels being high. It just, but that's an unknown right now. I don't. Not,
That's-
I won't be able to give you an accurate. It's under 1,000. but I
It
won't
is
be
still
able to
under
give you-
1,000. I was hoping we'd stop that this year.
966. I wanted to say 982.
So about the same as last year.
Yeah.
Where's our
962.
We're pretty robust coming in this year.
Right now, unfortunately, we don't have that information into it. At some of our sites, some of our newly registered kindergarten kids aren't completely registered to get an accurate number.
Okay.
So that's still coming in. The first week of school, we do get a whole, bunch of kids coming in, and it takes a while for the staff to the school site. Working on it. It's really getting back into swing of things. So this is again, we're all back in session and we all have to get rolling again, and it's time to get used to those things. I don't know, you guys probably noticed that it's hard to get back in that because we've been out of it for so long. We just give us some time to get our momentum again, and I think folks at the sites they're gonna get there. So we're being pretty patient and doing more things.
Consent agenda.
I have a correction to item H, approval of June 30 board meeting minutes. A couple of times in there on the agenda, page 1 and page 3, we have President George.
Oh, wait a minute, but are you looking at H? That's in 2021.
It's in 2021.
These are old ones.
Yeah. I didn't start taking minutes until July of 21. So these are the older ones. When I was going back researching for another thing, I discovered there was like five that we need to go back into. So I'm starting to put them on the board. So that's actually
This Never mind, I knew we have to.
We were looking for something and went, oh, no.
Yeah, that's what happened.
All in favor?
And Debbie. And
Opposed? Oh, wait a minute. A, ASB review,
All consent.
yes, but Steve, you had a comment on AA.
On,
The ASB review?
the warrants. Did I mess up?
You didn't say.
It was, I'm sorry, it was the commercial warrants, yeah.
Yes, I think we're still missing May's. I don't think May has ever been approved. I think if you go through, I went through every board packet, from May on, it's not there. So I think that one's missing. You want to check that out?
May of last year.
So it'll be May of this year. So I think she's got, June, July, and August, in the group. May's missing. Is, looks like you caught up on that. Then another one, is an agreement with the National Center for Executive Leadership, and the payments, there's $6,347.50. And I'm just curious, the original contract was for $4,000 over a 2-year period. And previously it paid $5,400 on those. 8/26/21, you paid $4,000, which was the total amount of the contract. And that also called for 2 equal payments, but the payment was 1 payment. Then on 11/18/21, you paid $1,400. And then this payment here, so was there an addendum to this contract?
We used additional services. I think that's the contract for Red. Yeah, and we used his services. We used some additional services, used him for some additional services.
But no addendum to the contract?
I believe there was. There's a separate contract?
One was strictly for the board, one was for the superintendent, and I think there was a training.
I can't hear you.
And there was one for the board, one for the superintendent, I think there was some training for the 1,400. So there was 3 separate items for that company.
Yeah, and we used.
With
we
only
used-
1 contract? Or was there an additional contract?
I thought it was the same contract. I mean, I have to look back in emails. I think we just addended that contract.
Well, how do those amendments, addendums, take place? When you have a firm price, contract, and then there's an additional to it, is there not it comes before the board in a meeting and minutes that would, show how that took place and the amounts?
Yeah, we'd have to research that.
Would you please?
Yeah,
What is it?
it's because also, see, the board doesn't have to approve. We don't have to bring it to the board for approval unless it's over a certain amount of money, and I want to say that's $10,000,
Yes, that's what I remember.
being $10,000. So
But you approved one for 4,000 to start with.
Well,
That was-
based on their need of the board, whose
Yeah,
assistance
that
for
was
the superintendent.
approval that we
That's
would do what we were doing, not necessarily we're paying the money.
We have to go back and research to give you.
Yeah.
If you could do that, I would
accurate
appreciate it.
So could you give Carmi what you were just reading to us so she can make sure she can get the right information?
Sure.
Thank you. Action items, 9A, approval of memorandum of understanding, workability and vocational caseworker. Do I have a comment on that?
So I have some questions. So Humboldt County Office of Ed contributes 15,000 to this position to service the students in our school district. Actual special ed, what percentage does that cover of your salary? Do you know?
Top of my head, I don't have. No, not one. A quarter. This 15,000, not a quarter. Okay, I'm trying to get the benefits and everything.
With benefits and everything. So-
About 75,000.
And this has been historically, they have done this every year.
Yes.
I move with things.
All in favor?
Okay.
Opposed? Motion passes. 9B, approval of the subcontract agreement number 0070 SLA 04600 between University of California and Klamath Trinity Joint Unified School District.
Can we have a discussion?
You can.
I noticed on the third page that at the bottom it says Captain John HS representative under the agreement. No,
Yeah, I also noticed that on the page 1, it has July 1, 2020 to June 30th, 22. So I think that template needs to be fixed. And also attachment 4, scope of work, deliverables, payment schedule, budget, and budget justification was missing. So if someone could explain what that is, what are they doing for this? What is
This is
happening?
Captain John's grant that they wrote for the MTSS. System of support. This is the one that Ms. Moya wrote himself. All the things that go in here. Some of the things she sponsored last year were the beautification of the campus, table, bringing more activities and field trips to students. This year, she has plans to hire a person to teach students. Cultural person. So she wrote her own grant.
And well, and just to reassure you, the business office will be asking what that is, so we know that when things come through that it will go. So these things that's being listed right now on file.
Yeah, well, when things come to me as a board member, I get excited. I read all the legalese,
Yeah.
but what are we doing with it? And so that's the important part, is how are our students being benefited? And that piece was missing.
And we can put the grant procedures back again, we can maybe have a resubmit, just a follow-up with the grant procedures attached.
I move to approve them.
Second it.
All in favor?
Already.
Opposed? 9C, curriculum adoption correction. The science department submitted items for an adoption for chemistry and physics. The school board and community had an opportunity to review the materials and they were approved. The approved publisher was Savas. The publisher should have been McGraw-Hill 2021 for physics and Cengage National Geographic 2021 for chemistry. I think we're just looking at it. Okay, it looks like we're just making a correction.
Yes.
Second. All in favor? Opposed? 9D, approval of certificated waivers. We have a list. So it's the whole list of the waivers that we have.
Yeah, this is the fact. The people that are operating on their own way are teaching.
Got the motion? Any questions?
I move we approve.
And I second that.
All in favor? Opposed? No opposition, no complaint. Approval of resolution number 2022-37, local assignment notification, chief administrative officer. I kind of was unclear with this meant.
Something that the special district recently.
Yes,
Oh,
for her to complete year one, she didn't complete year one, if there were doing her waiver.
okay,
Timeline,
okay,
March 15th to turn it all in.
yeah. Interesting.
So that's clear that there's a timeline and a.
She knows, yes.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Opposed? No opposition, no complaint. And 9F, approval of resolution number 22-36, local assignment notification, teacher assignment. Do we have any discussion?
So these are all the teachers that are currently teaching one or more periods in a subject outside of their credential area.
Mhm.
So we must pass this waiver to allow them to do that.
Jessica, do we have like the baseline that we're working from, like, are we allowed only so many within the district, or is it?
I
is
haven't
it not
noticed there's a
limited?
limit on waivers. I haven't been told that. Staff shortages, California.
Well, I was wondering, because a lot of these, or a significant number of them, are teaching classes that it seems like a multi-subject credentialed teacher could teach, like art, I mean, like art, and wasn't there a couple PE? Maybe not.
So
I guess it
Dr.
did
Kimball could probably answer that with these teachers. How is the structure of the junior high, Dr. Kimball? Are you having them rotate into subject matter courses?
The students,
Yes.
yes, they rotate between teaching staff, yes.
So
So,
in Mr. Crawford's case, he's a social science teacher credentialed, but he hasn't teaching PE for a couple periods.
he is
So
teaching-
that's hence
Oh,
what we
okay.
need the waiver.
So he's not a multi-subject? or
No, he's a single
He's
subject,
a single subject, oh, okay,
but social science is his degree.
right, okay.
And Ms. Cape is teaching science
for you.
She's teaching science, yes.
She's a multiple subject teacher, so why wouldn't she be able to, why would that be an exception?
Because for middle school and high school, you need to have a single subject to teach in a specialty area.
Okay,
That's for middle school. So
Yes, middle and high school.
Anytime you have the classes divided up. If you have to teach all subjects in one classroom subject, but if the students are rotating, then you have to have a single.
And that's the same thing you could have saying here, he's credentialed in art, single subject, but he's teaching math. What did you?
He's actually teaching both
Math.
Yurok language and arts and math. So he's one of the few teachers that on Monday, which is their elective day, he's actually teaching his Yurok language and art on that day. He's kind of doing double duty. Yes, triple.
all in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. G. Well, okay, so these were the three additions. Yeah.
At the beginning of the meeting, we-
I can see
Oh, yeah, yeah.
it's to approve the plan.
To approve the plan.
I can speak.
Okay, all right.
Can you give the title of the?
Approval for consolidated application.
Okay, so it's an annual app, which is a consolidated application. It's for Title I, resource 3010, Title II, resource 43.5, Title V, 4120, resource 4126, Title VI, resource 4127. So our Title I is basically the 6 school sites are their entitlements and the amount of students that they have that are listed in our Title pads. And the educator quality resource is a resource that provides professional development, teacher recruitment, administrator, we help with administrators' credentials and programs that they might be set up. So that's what that resource is for. And as far as it's another resource to help teachers if there's a blitz or something of that nature, something a little bit outside of what we currently have for grade 7. And the student and school support resource for 4127, that is the technology piece of the Khan app. And right now we're tagged for some laptops and things of that nature for our teachers and our students. So those have already been tagged. This is a yearly requirement that we bring in the application for the board to approve. I was told, oh, you need to have it approved, which I'm aware of that, but we normally approve it in August. And so you didn't have to wait for it, but this is a prettier copy. And if I was to hand in my handwritten, because I don't actually input this into the system, I provide them the handwritten notes, and I have always waited. And so it was Friday night at 6 o'clock that we got it. So that's why I see it included now, but this is just a process that we do every year. And then we'll come back and do the winter piece, and that will be reporting of what we've expended in those resources, whether it be 36-month report versus a 24 and a 12. So it kind of shifts during the winter time. So that will be in March or April that you'll see a reporting piece of the CONAP. But this is just to apply for it.
You did? I didn't hear you guys.
Debbie and.
Oh.
Debbie.
I said, I mean, much to approve.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to discuss it. Yeah. Okay.
All in favor?
The
Opposed? No opposition, the motion passes to approve the CONAP. H, Unaudited actual. The certification of unaudited actual financial report and down limit for 2022-23. And Kermie, I think this is another one that,
Yeah, I can explain. So this one is the unaudited actual with the resolution to adopt the gain limit. GAN limit, excuse me. This is an annual requirement that the board must approve our unaudited actuals. It's at the end of the school year, June 30th of 2022. And it gives us time to go through and verify assets. It goes through to verify our revenue, if we're getting any revenue, putting in anything of that nature. Again, we had a holiday on Friday, and so we didn't get this until Friday, and that is why it is being represented today. And it's a comparative of what we actually spent in the 21-22 school year and versus what we're budgeted for our 22-23. And so I use our second interim kind of as a gauge as far as the budget piece of it, not the actual expenditures. And so for the 21-22 second interim, we were slated at 22 million, and our actuals were actually 21 million that we did. So we would have, again, an ending balance. And again, moving forward, first interim, we'll take a look at the snapshot of our ending balance. A lot of times our ending balance, everything falls back into the pot of stew, you could say, and it gets reallocated back out. And first interim, you'll see how that lines up with our 3 years out. For that first interim, we have to put 3 years in with the budget. And a lot of times our ending balances, when it carries over, it helps that deficit moving forward. So with the 45-day, with our ending, we'll have a better snapshot at first interim, exactly kind of where we're standing. And so that's a requirement also, is the first interim. So all of this will be taken into consideration. Well, it has to be when we do the first interim. But that is, again, this is just a yearly requirement that we need to do.
discussion,
Yes.
Yes, it's to approve the unaudited actuals and to approve the resolution for the GAN. So it's all one,
I move we approve the unaudited actual in the resolution.
all in favor,
Okay.
opposed? Opposition?
Carrie made the motion. Who
Yeah. And Debbie.
Discussion items.
I'm still.
Oh, I'm sorry. Right. 9I, approval of mental and behavioral health. Oh, I don't have that in here. All right. Okay, memorandum of understanding between Climate Community Joint Unified School District and Humboldt County Office of Education. Who wants to?
This is Jennifer.
Okay,
I don't have it. Oh, so basically, thank you. No, that's. Miss Maggie Peters at the high school, went and, has been working with the county office on developing a new CTC pathway at the high school, and she's calling it a mental and behavioral health class, of course. So this is the agreement that we have with them concerning that, and so Dana, you have the second page is not right. This one is the voter registration.
Copies are laid on the floor. Copy machine went.
So we're working with Tanya Trump, who's the HCOE Director of Career and College Resources, and she's the project lead. And she's working with Maggie to develop this course, so they have a very good curriculum and to provide a very well knowledgeable teacher to teach this course, and it will count for A to G requirements for the new C system.
This is.
So she just got that approved yesterday. But this is just our detailed agreement that we have with them on what we agree each to pay for that
Okay.
class.
And move to approve the memorandum of understanding of the contract.
So this is going to be a new CPC pathway.
Correct.
So how
The
many,
mental and behavioral health career pathway.
and so how many pathways do we have in the
We have-
technical ed?
In building, construction, trades and technology, we have metal fabrication, we have. You know, this is true. It's a while. The third one, let's see, auto, wood, welding fabrication, and now we'll have mental health and behavioral health.
Already. They moved that we accept this.
Oh,
And I'll second.
All in favor?
and
Opposed? No opposition, motion passes. Discussion item 10A, governance training, set a date to determine which consultants will provide the training. Steve,
Yes. Well, you have this National Center for Executive Leadership and School Board Development. I believe they were providing assistance to the previous superintendent. It didn't seem to go too well. For whatever reason, I can't say, but it didn't seem to go too well, as evidenced by her status currently. So I would question, I would just recommend to look for somebody else besides the National Center. I think that if that stands for the record, I'd say that was kind of poor. That's all I have to say.
So on this one, he was on, this center was the only one that provided a quote that, and I have put out requests from other trainers for quotes, and I haven't received any back yet. But what I'm finding is the training in December is filling up, and we need to make a decision that since we don't have any quotes,
This is a discussion item anyway.
yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a discussion item. So what, so they were the only one that's in a quote. And so when you normally do your training in December, right? Is that normally your date? Yeah.
Well,
Because of the
it
new
is,
election.
yeah. Right.
After the new board is
Seated.
seated.
Yeah.
However, I do have a suggestion. There are a lot of conferences coming up for board training. I know I get a number of those on email because I don't know,
The CSBA.
CSBA. And I think that in addition to having a full board training with the new board, because there's only going to be 2 continuing, that if a board member sees a conference that has a specific topic of training that they would like to go to, I think we could send individuals and then they come back and bring back and share what their information was. So I think we ought to open up that avenue too.
I also want to suggest that the county has trainings for board members as well. And it would be good to contact the county and see if they have trainings.
Yeah, we did that a couple years ago. Yeah, it
That's not.
We did we actually had a series of training about 2 years ago, and I believe the county put it on.
Yeah, the county puts something.
Okay, so this gives me somewhere to go.
Yeah,
To look, and since your organizational meeting is December 6th, if you have to be before that date that they required, so the following week for the training, is that what first thing they asked me is what date, and I don't have a date, so should I just choose the date, or?
If it goes for the county, they have their dates set up. They usually-
So if they have them preset,
Yeah. they-
okay,
But other than that, I don't know.
And we'll work around that.
okay. I'll do some more.
Any questions?
I like
Martha?
Greg, as far as the trainer goes. I think he's a really good trainer. So if we can get him. I would be happy.
I would second that opinion. Certainly in my time on the school board, I've seen mistakes made. But just as, say, in a sports field, you might have a sports trainer that is good, and not necessarily every athlete learns everything well. I have confidence in Fred as a trainer, but I think we should pursue other avenues. Appreciate Laura Lee's comments too. But also a correction, there will be 3 experienced board members back. Because Martha and I are running against each other. Probably one of us will win. So there will be 3 of the 7 will be experienced. And one of us.
Oh, and what about, that's right. I just keep thinking I'm gonna lose.
But,
I just keep thinking I'm gonna lose.
oh,
I feel
well,
like
I'm certainly not gonna say anything negative about it.
Yeah, no mudslinging.
So, I actually want to third what they're saying. I have experienced Fred's trainings, and I think that they're really, really beneficial. I think this is really great. You are correct. We did have a wild employee, go rogue or whatever you would want to say, but I wouldn't say that was at all in reflection of Fred or his ability to train or provide information. So I feel like I need to defend his honor, and I don't know why.
Yeah. So,
But I
you're talking about governance, we're not talking about the superintendent. We're talking about governance training as a whole different.
Our job.
and so, yeah, I that's what I mean.
So, when did you do your last time? Did you do it on a Saturday or did you come in on a Friday?
We did it on a Saturday.
So Saturday, so probably the following
Yeah.
And,
the 10th.
oh, wait a minute, no.
Because don't we have to be seated right at the
Yeah.
next board meeting? And so what's the first board meeting in
Yeah.
December? Then
You
you have
get-
to do that.
You get seated on December 6th.
No, that's the first Tuesday.
Well, it has to be.
Has to be.
Okay. Wait a minute, why does it have to be?
It's something about the organizational date and the company,
Okay.
and that was a big thing last year.
Messed us all up.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were used to second Tuesday, but and June 1st.
It's the first
Tuesday.
Tuesday. in December. Okay,
So it could be.
it could be.
Okay, now. Okay, thank you.
I'm sorry.
Reports and information, 11A, WRS 403B, retirement incentive update. And, yeah, we'll take a update.
So, but this letter here states that we had established a 403B custodial account with the U.S. Bank to fund the district's 2015, 16, 17, and 18 retirement incentives. All funding obligations related to this account have been satisfied. The district is requesting custodial account, the number be closed, and all residual assets liquidated and forwarded to the district. So basically, we've satisfied those 4 years of retirement incentives offered to our employees. Moving that, we close the account.
Okay.
It's just.
Yeah, it's just important.
So when will we entertain a new,
Not during a teacher shortage. Sorry, I'm going.
they've been
Not
asking,
this year, I know. We have to. I didn't get one, I didn't get one, we're doing just fine. So, I don't know.
I think we should do the math and see where we stand. at any rate. Just so that we can make informed decisions.
And B, Squipple Valley High School wants visiting committee report. And
These are just the results of the most recent loss where they received, I believe, a 6-year renewals. Anybody out there can attest to that? Yes, will it
They did.
6 years?
6
So
years,
that's the
they'll
best-
come back in 3 years to do
That's
just
the
to
best
follow
thing.
It was really good. We were so happy.
And they are accredited the same students to college for the next 6 years.
Oh, I read that.
I think that's good.
I read through here. And I really commend the high school staff and their diligent work and even through COVID to do the reporting for the loss. In the report here, it does say that there were a lot of allowances made because of the school closures during COVID. But they do have some specific clear things that need to be ongoing and when they come back and visit. So I'm confident with our administration there at the high school. I know Maggie reads every detail, and so I have and I see the last one here is though Hoopa Valley High School has a wide course offering, there is a need to streamline courses into specific pathways to develop a clear scope and sequence that supports CTE and AG. And we've already seen tonight where I think you started with that with the behavioral health. So I just want to bring that. It's just not a clear sailing and yeah, you automatically get it. They're still working on it. And I with due diligence, and I have every confidence that they will come out shining on the next visit with the loss. But again, I know that's a lot of work. I served on one of those committees over in Marysville, and I said, never again, it's going to work. So I know it's very detailed and intricate. And if you ever want to learn anything about high school, be on one of those committees. You'll learn it quick. A lot of writing into the night, all of that stuff. But anyhow, congratulations to our high school. Really proud.
And 11C, school site reports.
So Miss Moya's not here, so we'll skip that one and we can look into. Jason is here. Maybe he'd like to stand up and address the board on his wonderful report.
I just turned in a letter to the family members, so there wasn't much to report, but it's good to be back. Kids are excited, and yeah, that's all.
Well, we're excited for you.
But I do want to say, superintendent said, there's no teachers, don't incentivize retirement. I agree. It is very difficult to find worker bees in our school district right now. Really hard. So, yeah.
Nationwide,
Yeah.
we need to start growing some of our own, more of our own.
Hoopa Elementary School.
Dr. Kimball's.
Dr. Kimball.
Well, I'm excited to report that we have 2 full days where we have had 100% of our staff show up. We have turned a corner and we're heading in the right direction. The rest of it is in the paper.
And
I did-
Nathan.
I did have a question. though.
Oh, go ahead.
I was excited to see you have 5 outdoor learning centers coming, and I was particularly interested in the one on a history walk.
So what we have is we we talked as a staff about different ideas that they would like to have. And then would people be interested in participating in those? And we had the middle school history teacher said that he would be interested. And as ideas were shared, he has a plan to create a visual and written portion of a wall that will have local, cultural, and state history events on there, so that it can be changed at different times to kind of highlight different events, but that will be part of an outdoor display over in the middle school wing. So that's the area that they have kind of identified for it. I'm excited to see that one come together, because I think that will draw a lot of interest and attention to look and connect with those events. The other outdoor areas are going to address birth science, scientific exploration, where they can do experiments outside, so that if that way something goes awry, it doesn't have to be cleaned up. A performing arts area, and I feel like I'm missing one. Oh, a nutrition area. So there's ways that those are going to be incorporated into outdoor learning. There'll be signage up and things that can be learned. There are posters that have information. But I think the one that's really interesting is the history one, because there's going to be so much of our local content there.
I was just going to suggest that the Lupa Valley Historical Alliance got kind of sidetracked during the COVID. That one of the members had been doing a GPS location thing and doing a what are those code?
QR code.
The QR code,
Yeah.
so that you can walk to different places and have photos show up of what used to be there and when.
And that would be a neat addition to
Yeah.
include. Yeah, thank you for
So,
suggesting that.
yeah, KTJUSD knows who that is too, so.
Okay, I'll get that information from you as we move into the next few weeks of conversation. Thank you.
I just had really two quick comments. You said that 2 out of the 5 days that we've been in school, 100% of the staff showed up. Do we have a lowball figure of Hoopa Elementary's size of students?
Well, I would try and give you a more accurate number, but we have about 7 students minimum each day enrolling. So our numbers have gone up about 35 to 50 in just the last week. We've had,
I put 420 just to be safe. So
Okay.
is that a lowball figure?
that might be a little high, but it's a little over 400. But anyway, kindergarten alone on the day before school started, we had 22 enrolled. We now have 45.
See, it's like, I get really,
So,
that's a big jump, so.
And then you have 7 other grades like that, right? And then the last thing I want to mention is that if anyone goes on Jeopardy and they ask what QR code stands for, it's quick response, FYI.
I did not know that.
Neither did I.
So there's, thank you.
So if we have that and the state capitals, you win, right?
Yes.
Right.
And I was just gonna get a lowball figure on Jack Norton as well, because I'm not sure if they have a lower grade class yet. And then a quick one on Orleans, because I was perusing the whatnot in the back, and in my humble opinion, it's just my 2 cents is if everyone could aspire to Maggie Peters's 9-page report of in-depth info and not just a newsletter or whatnot, it would go a long way with getting information out on each and every school, because Maggie Peters is something to aspire to when it comes to district report. I guarantee you, if you read her info, the 9-page report is wonderful. So yeah, if we could just get a lowball number on Jack Norton without the lower grade classes, and then Orleans as well. I appreciate it.
The number of students,
Correct, and staff.
Well, right now I have, a teacher and an aide at Jack Norton. I have about
One teacher, one aide.
one teacher, one aide. We have 15 students, and we interviewed this summer and tried to hire K3 at Jack Norton. He was offered the job and chose not to take it.
He or
And
she, no, we wouldn't want anything.
yeah, so that is, you know, the community does want to keep that K3 position.
No, I'm sorry, it shouldn't be the community, it should be the entire kind of Tornado Unified School District has to realize that it needs to be yesterday. So
The superintendent was the one that gave me the go-ahead, so I believe that Climate Trinity is invested in Jack Norton, so.
Oh, no, I'm not saying they're not, I'm just saying that it shouldn't be the people's call, it should be the understanding that we need it yesterday. That's just my two.
Jason? Oh, sorry,
Hopefully.
but can we have that conversation later?
Sure.
Okay,
Oh, but the numbers of,
so numbers,
Or-
How many students do you have, Jason? That's what he's asking.
staff.
15 at Jack Norton,
Got it.
I believe
16 at which, huh?
Orleans has roughly 67,
Oh, wow.
Okay,
That's a yesterday.
66.
66.
Wonderful,
and which spec 16,
got it. And staff,
teacher and aide.
thank you, that's all. QR codes, quick response, that's all.
Okay,
That's me.
So, Jason, which pick you're on?
Oh, off to a great start. You know, I just can't say enough about Dawn Engdahl. You know, she's kind of island to herself there, and she does a great job. And so, you know, starting off real well. So, and I thought the numbers were going to be lower than 16 this year. I really did. And we even have a few kids, well, they signed up, but like they never came back or something. So we may have more than 16.
Trinity Valley,
She's not here.
she's not here.
The high school's on a field trip.
Trinity Valley has one
Yes. And Orleans Elementary,
She had to leave early because
she did,
the power went out.
yes, and it's not coming back on, not really.
No.
But I am excited about, I have been to that, well, maybe I should wait. I'll wait. 11D, KTTA report.
I give it to you.
Oh, Kim, I want to hear about negotiation because we talked about it a little bit earlier before you showed up. What are the particular items that we're looking to negotiate on the 20th?
We're not negotiating, we're at impasse, so it's up to the mediator.
So the mediator will come here,
It's on Zoom,
Zoom.
yes.
Okay.
Do you have the link?
I haven't been sent the link yet. No.
Okay, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
It's just those 4 articles. that-
And you need to send it to Kadisha also. She'll be joining me.
Okay,
Okay, it's here. And trustee area reports.
We've had one more information.
Oh, we do have an information item, the County of Humboldt Office of Elections and Voter Registration. We got a letter, qualified candidates for this race include the following: 4-year Tom O'Gorman, 4-year Martin McLaughlin. Portions of the district, trustee area 2, trustees area 1 and 6 will not go to election due to an insufficient number of qualified candidates. And trustee area 5, Paige Tilton is the candidate in that area, and he, I believe,
He will be elected.
he will be
because
appointed.
He's the only one running.
It won't
He'll
be
be elected.
He'll be, yes.
on the ballot, but he will automatically fill out.
So will he be able to do the full 4 years, even if he's not on the ballot? Or will it just go until the next time?
No, he will.
No, he'll be for 1 year.
Technically.
If you don't, if you don't have an opponent running, they don't put it on the ballot, you automatically get it.
And Yeah, it's not an appointment, it's actually an election.
Automatically getting money.
Oh.
Nobody ran for, right? So those will be appointed.
Why don't they just carry it on here?
Because she's in Trinity County, that was my comment.
Oh, that's right.
We have two students.
Yeah, so there are two areas that no one applied at all for. So that will be up to the new board to seek candidates to be appointed for those two. One is where I live, it's the west side of the river, but I'm not exactly sure where the dividing line is between where I live in South Tishfield and where Paige lives up in Campbellville. Somewhere in between there's a line, so I'm not sure where that is. I haven't seen a plot map.
It's really hard to tell when you look at it precisely. It's, when they meander, it's hard to tell the exact.
I think someone's gonna have to just go sit in the elections office and
The other one,
have them
Well,
do
there's
that.
a map, being that we were looking at a map.
But the map does not give you where the property lines.
Right, well, can we request that Humboldt Office of Education or the elections department who does that?
Maybe we
send
could
us a better
send the
map.
elections office
Yeah.
a letter
we could
out.
send us a better map.
Well, if you zoom in and then you press the plus, you.
Yeah, we did that.
But it doesn't do,
You can't see that good.
doesn't do property lines.
And if people are interested in those areas, they also could call into the election department and find out if they indeed live in that area.
what was the other one besides 6?
It's kind of like the Willow Creek area.
Stevie McIntosh.
Stephen McIntosh Road up in there.
Big Hill, I mean, 6 foot golf course.
Yeah.
Area 1 and area 6.
1 and 6.
You're off country.
Oh,
Not six, six is not.
Stevie McIntosh.
Oh, yeah.
area.
The economic development about it. Not really on the-
It's trustee area report.
Time's it. Adjourn.
Oh, wait, we have to trustee area report. No, I went now.
Oh, I've been around. I went around to Jack Norton School. I checked them out in Witchbeck. I was at Hoopa High today. And just kind of looking around and seeing just really good stuff. Everywhere I look, things look like people are busy and things are going on. I don't see like, you know, it just looks great to me. I think I'm looking forward to a really good year. Have conversation with Jason often about the schools down there and in Witchbeck. And I was thinking that we do have some students that are kindergartners that live in our area that are coming up here, that maybe Jason, you know, we could recruit some of those kindergartners and bring them out and, you know, keep them down there in Witchbeck. We were kind of talking about that. I actually talked with one mother that said she would rather that her son go to Witchbeck if he could, but I didn't know at that time if that was possible, but so.
We got 6 kindergartners right now.
Yeah, so one more would be
Yeah.
nice. Or two. So, yeah. I'm just looking forward to.
I stopped by, Trinity Valley yesterday and we talked with the principal and several other people. And those, some of the principals said she had been talking with her staff about raising money for sports because their ASB amount that they have to get money for sports events and umps and field and trips and all that business is way down. And so she was looking at other schools and seeing what they did, and she said they're going to try to go around to the businesses and ask for support from businesses. That would be a yearly thing And they would put banners up for the businesses that provide support. And they could renew each year if they wanted to, and whatever. And so anyway, they're working on that, and I was really surprised that the school district didn't shelter. I said, doesn't the school district, provide some monies for this? And she goes, not really. So anyway, that's what they're doing.
There is some money though that can do stuff like that in that ESSER program, right? That it'll pay for different
pay for
things,
the
improvements for your school and I know Jack Norton and Witchbeck too, but Jack Norton definitely needs a bigger playground area with a cover over it and outside outdoors classroom. And it'd be exciting to be able to use some of that money for that this year.
Well, I want to report that Orleans has its portable. And it's, yeah. Yay. I was just really having, Jeanette got to move out of the closet and into a classroom where it's just nice to have room for people where they're not, I mean, literally, they are not working in closets.
Now I can sleep at night because that one project's out
Yeah.
of my hair.
And they have the campus looking so nice, except the lawn is brown, but evidently in our area, it's not
That's what it is.
correct to have green lawn.
Ain't that right?
Wrong yet, so.
I don't think it is.
I would like to report out that at 4 o'clock today, the board met over at the high school at the new site where the new ITech building is being built, and we have, where's our golden shovel?
I threw it in the office because it's going in the building. Someone put it over in the corner and it's so pretty. I didn't want it to get.
Anyway, the architects did provide a beautiful shovel, gold with our engraved name on it and the board, it was beautiful. So anyway, we did break ground. And the new ITech building is on schedule as of this moment to be, and it should be finished in August of 2023. So that's the.
We'll start out next year with.
Oh, good, yes.
We need to put it right in up here.
Yeah.
Or when you walk in the door.
We didn't start it today.
Yeah. That's why they're on the table. I've never the shovel. I moved with
I think that.
All in favor?
Seven.